And so these are my chocolate bonbons with no added fat, no added sugar. Hi friends. Do you want to increase your circulation, reduce your blood sugars, as well as reduce your weight, and protect your DNA against mutations that can cause cancer? If so, then this dessert is for you. So today I'm going to teach you how to make a really simple dessert based on chocolate as well as whole foods. Takes just 5 minutes to do. So here I have already made one. That's why this is a little dirty. But here in this mason jar, I have half a cube of tofu. It's basically soft tofu. If you don't want to eat tofu, that's okay. You can use a can of beans, basically probably half a can of beans. And what you want to do is you want to open the can of beans, you want to rinse it under water, drain it, and then put that in your jar. Now, the reason why I have this tar jar is because when I blend it, it's going to make a mess. So I always find something tall and deep. So to this, what I've done is first of all, I add some lemon or lime. So I have here lime, and I want basically for this amount of tofu, I put half, like maybe a quarter of a lime. I put the lime juice, but I want to shave the outside of the rind. And so the rind gives it the lime essence and gives it really good flavor. And the lime, the citric acid inside makes the bean taste less beany. And that's true for other beans as well. And so this way it kind of hides the bean taste. There's a unique taste in beans that does not taste like grains. And if I put citric acid in it, I've noticed that it really cuts down that taste. So you can use lime or lemon, and it doesn't quite work with oranges, but it still gives it a refreshing taste. So the other thing is most people need a little sugar. Okay, so for me, I like this. So let me show you. I'm going to hold it up and then I'm going to take my phone in case you can't see it. So this is a box of dates, and this is Khadrawy dates. So they are softer than normal dates. Most people, I think the most common dates on the market are medjool dates. So let me show you with my phone, and they're just softer, right? I'm going to pick one up. It's just really, really squishy. See how squishy that is, right? So I don't know if you can see it, it's squishy. So this date is what I use to make a lot of desserts because then I don't have to soak it in water. Otherwise, the medjool dates on the market, you have to kind of soak it because it gets kind of hard. And sometimes I just want a pudding-like texture. So this is going to be a chocolate pudding. And here is a chocolate I use. Many of you have asked me why I use the chocolate I use. And if you want to know that, I have a whole video all about chocolate. But I use this. This is really cheap. You get this at Target, unsweetened cocoa powder. So I put a heaping tablespoon of this powder into this jar already. So I'm going to blend this first, and then I'm going to tell you what I add to it to make it even healthier dessert. Okay. So here's my cube, right? And let me see if I can get my phone to record it, and then you can see how this blends. All right. All right. Yeah, it blends pretty easily. Works better if I hold it. Okay, so just a few minutes and it's this creamy texture, right? And usually this isn't enough for me because this is actually very tasty. You can actually taste it to see if it's the right sweetness. I know it's already sweet enough for me. I put about 4 dates per cube. The more dates you put, the more calories you're increasing your food. So if it's not sweet enough or it has more of a bean taste, then you just put more lime. Well, that won't make it sweeter, but that will make it less of a bean taste, okay? But I usually add other fruit to make this a healthier dessert, as well as other vegetables. So I have here kale, curly kale. I'm gonna put that in, and it gives it more antioxidant power. Now, this kale is blander than the dinosaur kale, the Lactino kale. And so I don't mind eating this. I can't really tell that I'm eating it if I blend this up to such small bits, right? The other thing I like to put are blueberries. Now, blueberries are one of my favorite berries. Tons of antioxidant power in this skin as well as in the seeds, right? And that's why I always try to eat blueberries every day. And I had mentioned up front that this is supposed to help you reduce your blood sugars as well as increase your circulation. So let me tell you how the blood sugar works. Number one, it has a ton of beans, right? So I have tofu, or if you use your canned beans, beans help reduce your blood sugar through several mechanisms. Number one, it interacts with your gut microbiome. Number two, it has protein. So this is actually a low glycemic index because it's just full of protein. It doesn't have as much fiber unless you put this kind of beans. This has more fiber, but this one, they both have a low glycemic index, and beans have been shown to have a second meal effect. So even after you eat it, in the following meal, it can help reduce your blood sugars. Number two, I just put a bunch of fiber in here with the blueberries. And the blueberries are very important for me to have every day. So I always try to incorporate it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Eating blueberries does not only give you added fiber, as well as the phytonutrients in the seeds and in the skin, but the entire blueberry actually improves your memory. And it doesn't raise your blood sugars like other fruits. So I usually won't blend other fruits because a lot of other fruits, when you do that, you release the sugars in the berries and then it will elevate your blood sugars, right? When you blend other fruits that aren't blueberries, for example, if you're blending watermelon or cantaloupe, other fruits that have sugar, or even an apple, you now released that sugar load instead of having it slowly release through chewing. But blueberries are the exception, so that I don't mind blending blueberries because it's been shown not to increase your blood sugars like other fruits. The other thing about what I just put in the kale is that it has sulforphanes. So by blending the kale, I'm actually helping it convert to more sulforphanes, because sulforphanes aren't in the kale. What's in the kale is a molecule called glucoraphanins. And when you blend it, or when you break it, when you chop it up, or when you chew it, you actually release an enzyme in the kale called myrosinase. And that enzyme is required to convert glucoraphanin into sulforphanes. So it's actually beneficial to blend your kale or any other cruciferous vegetable, or to chop it up and let it sit there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to blend that now and show you what it looks like in the end. All right, so let me get a little bowl and scoop some out, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, here's my bowl, and usually I would just eat it straight from the jug, but since I'm showing you, I'm going to put it in a bowl. Okay, and this is what it looks like. It has like a bluish, I guess a purplish hue to the chocolate, right? And I'm going to taste it. I really like it. I think that if I put this in a freezer, it'll taste even better because it'll have more of a frozen soft serve texture. Okay, I'm going to show you another dessert. I'm going to finish this later. Okay, my second chocolate dessert requires actually two types of fruits. A banana for sure. And then the second one is just a fruit high in vitamin C. And kiwi is pretty high in vitamin C. The other ingredient you need is cocoa powder. And then the last one would be some nuts. So I put a bunch of dates here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to use this, okay? That's just basically a little wood board, because I'm going to stick that in the freezer. All right, so in your plate, I'm going to mash up a banana. So this is actually a fun dessert for your family to do, because it's always fun to mash a banana. Usually, I would take a fork, but I forgot to bring a fork, so I'm going to use a spoon. You can actually do it with your hands. All right, so what you want is you want to get it into a smooth texture. All right, I'm going to just smash it, right? Smashing it is better than chopping it up. Otherwise, it doesn't get to a smooth texture. So for a while, I stopped eating bananas because I couldn't figure out how to eat it without it inhibiting my other polyphenols. So if you remember, polyphenols are the antioxidant little weapons that is one of the main reasons for eating fruit. And depending on how many polyphenols that fruit has dictates its antioxidant power. So banana turns brown, right? So slowly this is going to turn brown because it has an enzyme called polyphenol peroxidase that oxidizes or degrades polyphenols, okay? So anything you put with bananas will just take away the polyphenol power. So any fruit that turns brown has this issue, right? And what do we do with fruits that turn brown? How do we make it not turn brown? You're gonna mix some vitamin C, ascorbic acid, right? And that's how you keep apples fresh. You squeeze some lemon or lime, and just that action will will basically inhibit the polyphenol peroxidase enzyme. Okay, so, now we're getting somewhere. You see how it's turning a liquid, right? Bananas are always fun to mash. It'd be quicker if I had a fork. I forgot to bring the fork. All right, it's in another drawer. I don't like cleaning up more than one. You know, the least amount of cleanup, the better. The more utensils I get, the more cleanup. Okay, all right, here we go. Here's my liquid banana. See how it's liquidy, right? Kind of liquidy. This is a perfect texture. If you know, get your fork and blend it up, or take your hands and mash it, it's even better, right? Okay, but this is pretty good. This'll do. Okay, so kiwis have twice as much vitamin C as an orange, right? So I'm going to cut this kiwi and get a bowl, okay? And I'm going to squeeze. You can actually eat the whole thing, including the skin, but I'm going to squeeze this kiwi into the banana, okay, to help it prevent it from turning color, as well as inhibiting the polyphenol peroxidase enzyme in the bananas. Because when I put my chocolate, I want those flavonols to work. I don't want my banana to mess with that. And plus I like the flavor. It kind of gives it a unique flavor. Okay, all right. So mixes pretty well, right? Now you have little spots in your banana. Let me get my phone to show you what it looks like. All right, see that? It's kind of a soupy texture, right? And the little black dots, they look like sesame seeds. That is the kiwi seeds, okay? So this is really good. It's like, baby food is tasty. If you do it right, it's actually quite tasty. Okay, so now I'm going to get some cocoa powder, and I'm gonna pour it in and fold it in. So I'm gonna pour in roughly about a tablespoon. Gently pour it in. Okay, that's roughly about a tablespoon. So let me show you. Okay, so that's about a tablespoon. And I'm gonna slowly fold that in. Usually I would let it sit, like the vitamin C sit in the banana, but since I'm showing you, I'm going to speed this process up so we're not here forever. Okay, and what I wanna do is I wanna evenly distribute the cocoa powder so I don't have lumps of cocoa powder. Okay, so at this point, I mean, all of this is edible. There's no added sugar. All the sugar is from the banana and the kiwi. So if you get a sweet kiwi, it'll be even sweeter. If it's a sour kiwi, then your chocolate will be not as sweet, which is fine because dark chocolate is not very sweet, right? So this is what it looks like, and I'm gonna pour it now over my walnut mixture. Let me show you my walnut mixture. I'm gonna actually open up the sides in case I spill it, okay? The goal is to pour it on something where you can just pop in the freezer, okay? So I actually brought ice cube trays, and I'm gonna put a walnut in the ice cube trays because I do think it's gonna slip off from this cutting board, right? And let me show you with my camera what it looks like. I just use this ice cube tray to make something else, so it's a little green. Don't mind the green, it's all edible. And it actually adds more antioxidants, okay? So I'm gonna put just enough walnuts in there. And now I'm going to add this to the ice cube tray. See how I'm adding it to the ice cube tray? Yeah, so I'm making basically little tiny pieces of chocolate, right? Looks like chocolate. And when it's done, it'll taste like chocolate because I put real chocolate in it. It's delicious. It's one of my favorite desserts. And the banana makes everything creamy. So if you don't like bananas, some people don't like bananas, you can use mango. Mango is another way to do it. And so one banana is perfect. One banana fills up one ice cube tray. So I use one banana and half a kiwi. And then I filled it up with some walnuts, okay? And then I'm just going to like pound it a little bit. Okay, on the table, and here you go. Okay, so these are my chocolate bonbons, and I'm gonna put this in the freezer, and it's gonna take at least 2 hours to set. Oh, by the way, this kiwi skin, it's edible, you can eat it. Okay, it's been more than a couple hours. I basically kind of got busy. So here it is. It's been probably like more like 6 hours since I made it. So I'm gonna take a parchment paper out and I'm gonna open this up and I will, looks like this. Let me, all right, so they look like basically chocolate colored ice cubes. And now I'm gonna see if I can pour them out. You know, it's just like ice cubes, takes a little bit of work. Usually I just take them one out at a time. All right, it's not wanting to come out. Kind of like the silicone ice cubes better because then I can squeeze it out, but I had other stuff in it. So, oh, here we go. One fell out. Okay, so here it is. My one bonbon, chocolate covered bonbon. It looks like basically a chocolate ice cube, but it's gonna be much tastier. So I'm gonna try it. Sorry, it's really cold, but if you want it creamier, just use bananas. Because I put kiwi in it, I actually want to preserve so there's more ice crystals in it. But if you just let it defrost for a few minutes, I literally just took it out. And so it's been less than a minute. But if you let it defrost for maybe like 5 minutes or so, it'll be a nicer, creamier texture. Those are my chunks of walnut. If you wanted this to be fattier and creamier, you can puree the walnuts with the bananas so that instead of mixing it with the fork, you may have to pound it or take a hand blender and then just blend everything. And so these are my chocolate bonbons with no added fat, no added sugar. And this is my treat when I want something sweet in the middle of the night. Enjoy. Okay, if you don't like the ice cube tray idea, then you can always just mix some walnuts in with your banana cocoa powder. Coat it really well. You can scoop them individually and have individual walnut covered chocolates, or you could do what I do and I just make walnut chocolate barks. So I will spread that whole thing out into a thin layer on a cookie sheet. I will put that entire sheet with a plate in my freezer, and this way it lays flat. And I make this before dinner, and by the time I'm done cooking dinner and eating dinner, I have myself a delicious chocolate walnut bark dessert. Remember the canned beans? There's actually a delicious chocolate cookie you can make with beans. And if you want to learn how to do that, watch the next video.